Welcome to the Chlorine King podcast, where your host, Eric Taylor, will discuss tips for the do-it-yourselfer, answer listeners' questions, conduct product reviews, and host special guests from the pool industry. Grab your swimsuits and let's dive in.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another great show. Our guest tonight develops pool service software, so if you're in search of a software program to make your pool business easier than ever, stay tuned. I've talked with him for several months now and getting updates about his new features, and I can tell you guys, it's feature-packed. Before we talk with him though, let's speak with Christina. She asks, Eric, how do I find a good pool company? There's so many out there on Google and I've had such bad luck in the past. Do you have any tips? Sure, Christina, I would be glad to help. The first thing you got to do is look them up on sunbiz.org and see if they're a legitimate business to begin with. If you don't find them on there, I would stay away. Then I'll check their online reviews to see how they've been with their other customers. Do they have great reviews? If the company has more negative reviews than positive reviews, you may want to look elsewhere. If they're offering to do a repair, or basically any work that requires a tool, at least here in Florida, go to myfloridalicense.com and see if they have an active pool contractor's license. That way you can rest assured knowing that they're insured and both parties are protected if they do work at your house. A last step would be to call and see if A, they even answer, and B, ask them some questions and see how they answer it. I really hope that helps, Christina. You can always reach out to me if you have any other questions. So let's go ahead and talk with our tonight's guest. I'm really excited to have on the line Cameron Craig, owner and developer of AquaSuite Pool Service Software. How you doing tonight, Cameron?
Good. How are you, Eric?
Good, man. I'm excited to have you on and talk about your service software.
Oh, I'm so excited to be on here, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, of course. Let's go ahead and give yourself a quick introduction and how you ended up in the pool business and how you ended up where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little background on me. I've been a professional software developer for almost 10 years now. That's always been my passion and what I've dedicated most of my time towards. And my dad's actually how I got into the pool industry. He's been in the industry for like 35 plus years. He's run his own routes. He's run multi-million-dollar pool companies here in Phoenix. So he comes from a very strong background in our industry. And a couple of years ago, he and I got involved with running our own route, starting it from scratch and that kind of thing. And I just got into it for, extra income and to try to, make things a little bit more interesting and all that kind of stuff. And I ended up seeing that there's a big gap between being able to manage everything from, the logistics side of the business to, stuff in the field and making things a lot more optimized. So I started naturally as a software developer. I tried to see what tools were currently offered to see what we could put in place to make things a little easier to run. And I wasn't really sold on anything that's out there. There's a lot of different softwares out there and that kind of thing, and just wasn't really happy with it. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to build something for our company, make it a little easier on me to do everything, and we'll leave it at that. I never anticipated that I'd write software for the industry that I would end up offering to other pool guys, but the software developed over the years, and I have a lot of input from my dad and other people in the industry of what they'd like it to do and all that kind of thing. So, as it matured to the point where I could show it to other people, I started doing that and got really good feedback from the people that I was showing it to. So I thought I might be onto something and decided to kind of pivot my plans in life and dedicate my full time to this. So I've made it something that other pool guys can use, and we plan on making it even better as much as we can. And, that's kind of how I got to where I am right now.
Well, great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your AquaSuite Pool Service Business Management Software? Yeah,
so AquaSuite is an app that you can use on your phone or on your laptop or desktop, and it is a comprehensive tool to use for people in the industry that look to manage their route easier, manage their appointments, track their service stops. One of the core features of AquaSuite is being able to replace the need for an actual route book. You enter all your chemical readings in the phone, and you can track things a lot more accurately. And one of the biggest things that AquaSuite does on top of that is automating your billing process. So that was the biggest hurdle that I was running into when I started my pool company. How do I get the bills out to the customers? Because each bill for me is always going to be different for the most part for each of the customers. I charge separately for chemicals, and I will sell my customers things retail like skimmer baskets, pump baskets, 3-way valve O-rings, different things like that. So all those kinds of things always need to be added to their bill before it can be issued. a big thing that AquaSuite does is manage all of that, and basically the idea is you put all of your chemical readings out in the field on your phone. If you add any service items, skimmer baskets, that kind of thing, it gets recorded, and your entire route is optimized so that you can go from service ticket to service ticket without having to hunt through the route book or all that kind of thing. You can get directions to your accounts on there. Repairs is a newer feature that we've just implemented where you can manage your repairs. So if you have customers that you see their pump's leaking, they might need a new pump seal, you can add a repair for that customer in AquaSuite, and it makes it a lot easier to track the different repairs that you currently have out, what repairs you need approval for, what repairs have been approved. We have a nice, easy feature for us to be able to send the customer an email letting them know that they need to have a repair done. They can click on a button to approve or deny it. Then we get updated so that we know that we need to put it on the calendar. It does a lot. I mean, you can hopefully, that gives you an idea of where we're headed with it and all that kind of thing, and making the lives of us pool guys a lot easier by, putting all that kind of stuff on autopilot so that we can do what we do best, which is cleaning the most amount of pools, doing the most amount of repairs, and as a result, bringing the most money in.
Hey, that's what we're all about, is trying to make a nice living for ourselves. So that sounds like a great viable option versus those that keep manual route books out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, we've already talked a little bit about this, but why don't you let everyone know why you decided to get into the pool service software development business versus just staying, as a pool company?
Yeah, it was a really interesting thing. It was definitely not my intention at first. I've done consulting for other companies. I've worked for other companies for software development, ways and that kind of stuff. And that was just kind of what I was planning on doing for the rest of my life. And then got presented this opportunity with our pool business, and I ended up being a lot bigger part of that and learned an awful lot. I mean, I have my own swimming pool at my house here, and I service it myself. So my knowledge is not, none, but it's very little. So I learned an awful lot of the industry as a whole, being in business with my dad and that kind of thing. And I've been fascinated with the industry from the very beginning. Here in Phoenix, there's just so many swimming pools out there, and all the different types of equipment, the different types of pools. It fascinates me, the different variations of equipment and that kind of stuff that are in the field, and it poses a very interesting problem. So that's what attracted me to the industry, to stay in it and to become passionate about it. As much as I'd love to be able to do big remodels and stuff like that myself, I'm just not cut out for it. It's just not my cup of tea, that side of things. But the software side of things, I think I can really provide a lot of value to companies. I know I already have. So, we've just scratched the surface of what we can do with making companies more optimized and that kind of thing. And I'm very entrepreneurial, very passionate about small business, and anything I can do to help other businesses and that kind of thing, it gets me high. It's a natural high that I get seeing something that I created benefit another company in such a profound way. So it's an addictive thing for me. I get to do what I love, which is the programming side of things, the software side of things, and also being able to talk to people in our industry. It's just a very natural fit for me. So I'm very happy where I am, and I look to take this thing to the moon if I can.
Well, that's great, because I've demoed a lot of software, as you know, we talked in the past, and sometimes I wonder if those developers have ever serviced a pool, so it's a great thing that you've actually been in the business and ran successful businesses to make your software just that much a better option.
Yeah, it's an unfair advantage that I have over the competitors that try to offer software. I mean, I commend them for trying to fill that gap. But I run my route weekly. I don't do it every day, but I am no stranger. I'm looking at my truck right now. I got the pool pole, the bucket of tabs, the acid. I'm ready to take it out on the route whenever I do. And when I do service my customers, I use AquaSuite. So, we dog food test our own application, and that's why we believe so strongly in it. So it really, like I said, it really is an unfair advantage. I have experience from my dad and all the different backgrounds that he's been in with the industry, and my firsthand experience, and it really allows us to bake just the most functionality, the most value that we can into the software. And again, as I've mentioned before, we've just scratched the surface. We have a laundry list of things. I mean, so many different. My whiteboard is always full of just different things that we're excited to implement, feedback that we're getting from the people that's using the app, different things like that. So I mean, we think it's going to be a really awesome thing to introduce into the industry.
Well, great. So, obviously every service software program out there says, that they're the best and all that stuff. So can you walk us through exactly how AquaSuite would make a pool company's life easier?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll run down the kind of the mental checklist that I went through that I needed to expect out of software like AquaSuite when I got started with it. So I already kind of went over the billing. The billing side of things is crucial. It's what is the lifeblood of our business and what we need to, you can't get paid if you can't invoice the customers,
Sure.
And if you're not invoicing them properly, if you're not getting the bills out on time, if you're not tracking who's past due on their bill, all those things can be very detrimental to a small business like ours. So at the core of AquaSuite is handling all of that. So we're very flexible with the different billing types that we can support for our different customers. A lot of people in our industry like to do the flat rate billing, once a month. It's issued on the first of the month, due on the 15th. I charge a flat rate for all these customers that have this service plan. If they have a spa or if they have a bigger pool, it's a little extra, but it's all flat rate. We support that. If you're like me and like to do your billing a little differently, we support the 4-week billing method, which in my opinion is the best way to do billing for our industry, for our service, because you get 13 billing cycles out of the year for each customer as opposed to 12. So, you're getting paid for every single stop that you do. And I also bill my customers in advance. So let's say, for example, our customers wanted to sign up today. They would pay for the next 4 weeks of service today. AquaSuite would generate the first invoice for me. So I would know, okay, here's what you're going to be paying. It's $25 a week times 4. It covers these dates here. Here's your invoice. I need to get paid through check or cash or whatever you need to pay me through. And then every 4 weeks, AquaSuite automatically generates the invoice and takes into account any billable service items that the customer needs to be charged for, generates an invoice for me. I sync that. I use FreshBooks right now for my billing software. FreshBooks is what actually issues the invoice to the customer. They can pay their bill online. I get a notification saying that their bill's been paid, and it just continues to go from there. If any of the customers fall behind on their bill, if they become past due, I get an email from AquaSuite saying the following customers are now considered past due because they haven't paid their bill on time. I know that those customers either need to be taken off the service schedule, or I need to send them a text message or an email to let them know that their bill needs to be paid before such and such date. And that's the biggest part of what makes AquaSuite so beneficial. It's very flexible with the billing side of things. We integrate with QuickBooks Online if you like to do your invoicing through QuickBooks, or through FreshBooks like me. I do my invoicing through that. It's a very simple platform that's easy to do. And there's a whole slew of things. I mean, taking pictures while you're poolside and being able to send it to your customer right within the app with all of the chemical ratings that you want to share with them. That's a big feature that we offer. We're in the modern age. Customers like to see that. It reinforces the relationship that you have with your customer by letting them know that you were there with the picture and all the information that they need to know. I can track all of my appointments easily. Another huge thing would be, if my dad was going out to service a customer's pool or to do an eval for new service or a repair or whatever, we needed to have some sort of centralized calendar that was in place so that we could see what was going on. AquaSuite has a calendar built right into it. It keeps track of all your appointments for you. If you fall behind on an appointment, if you don't mark an appointment as completed by the specific date, it shows an alert. Hey, the following appointments did get completed. You need to get them done.
That's cool.
The whole intention behind AquaSuite is to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks, and you're getting the most billing done, the most accurate billing done. The customers are treated the best because you're so much more organized than the alternative, which is using Google Calendars or Google Docs or pen and paper or notes on your phone. It can be so scattered, and it can get out of hand really fast. So we look to bake all of that into one centralized tool that we can have for everything that you need, from managing your customers' information to doing billing, appointments. We do the repairs, all that kind of thing. It really is a nice way to automate all those little things that, first blush, it might not seem like a big deal, but from firsthand experience, and Eric, I'm sure that you can attest to this as well, it can get out of hand and really become a huge nightmare.
No doubt. I know exactly what you mean, especially when you talked about everything being scattered. That happened to me in the very beginning. I'd have something on the notepad on my phone, or I'd have something jot down on some paper, and I'm just like, there's got to be an easier way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're surrounded by technology. We have, smartphones, we have laptops, and, there's 1,000 different note-taking apps out there that you can use, but none of them really are good unless it's all centralized and it's geared towards our industry specifically. There's a lot of applications out there that say that they cover all service industries. Well, that's all fine and good, but I got to basically go through and create the dang thing on your platform. And, even then there's going to be things I didn't think about. And it's just, it's from the pool guy's perspective. I want software written from a pool guy's knowledge and that kind of thing, so that I know we all do the same thing for the most part. We all go service pools, we all go do repairs, we all have to do billing, et cetera, et cetera. So, from our perspective, we know 99% of the things that you're going to run into, and we've already accounted for that in some way or another, or we're going to in the near future with some of the features that we have coming out.
For sure, exactly. So, you've already touched on this a little bit, but how does the AquaSuite software help the repair side of the business?
Yeah, so one of the newer features that we've implemented, and we plan on beefing up in the new future, is being able to track that a lot easier. So we've all seen it. We've all been on route, and we see a leaky filter, or customers' cool deck is cracked, or whatever it is, the scope of the work that you can do. We've all found an opportunity, but there's that little voice in the back of our head saying, you know what, it's going to be a pain in the you-know-what if I have to pursue this, because then I got to write a text message to myself to remind me to put an estimate together to get the customer, then I got to get it to the customer, and then I got to hound them to see if they saw it, and then get approval for it, and then take a deposit. It can really get out of hand, and what ends up happening with that is you end up ignoring it, right? Mm-hmm. Those are money-making opportunities in my eyes. So anytime I see a pump seal, I snap a picture of it, I attach it to a repair on that customer's account right within AquaSuite. I draft up a little description and a price, say, hey, your pump seal's leaking. It's going to be, $250 to fix, whatever it may end up being. Do you want to have me go ahead and approve this or deny this? They say, you know what, let's go ahead and just, let's get it taken care of. Okay, well, I can bill this a couple different ways. Do you want to pay for this now, or do you want me to put it on your bill? Yeah, just put it on my bill. Not a problem. When I'm out there servicing the customer's pools, when I like to do stuff like that, add it to the customer's bill. Now I just took something that was actually an inconvenience to me as the service technician, because I need the pump working properly, to a money-making opportunity, and it was as smooth as can be. As long as you have the capabilities to actually do the repairs, AquaSuite handles the rest of it for you with getting approval and making sure that the billing side of things is taken care of, which from my experience is the biggest hassle. I can even do a pump seal, and I only have a couple of years of experience in the field, very, very limited knowledge, but I can make extra money by doing that. You multiply that by 50, 60, 70 pools, if that's how many pools you have on your route, you're talking a huge chunk of your income.
Sure.
And repairs are where the biggest margins are. So if we're not taking advantage of the repairs, what the heck are we doing in the business? You know what I mean? We're busy tracking the billing, making sure we have enough inventory, making sure that our customers are scheduled, calling them on the phone, making sure that they knew we were out there, different things like that. It takes up a lot of time, So we streamline it all to say, okay, from opportunity from it being paid to your bank account, we try to make it as simple as possible with the repair aspects and such. It should be a very huge part of our business.
Yeah, I mean, it really sounds like AquaSuite, if I could describe in one word, would be seamless.
Well, that's exactly what we're going for. We want to put something in your hands that's going to make you money and save you time. And it's as simple as that. Without you having to change hardly anything that you do in your actual business, we want to introduce more value in any way we can. And by making it more organized and, like you said, seamless, that's definitely the vision that we have. And we're not perfect. We're striving to be that. We'll never get there. No app actually will. But we're very community driven. If someone sends us a chat message or contacts me or my team in some way or another, and they propose a solution to something that we see as being valuable, we'll put it to a vote. If the community says that that's what they want, we'll implement it. That's what we see the future of AquaSuite being really relied upon is what you guys want and what's going to make it better for all of us. Because one guy's idea might benefit 100 other people.
Well, that sounds great, Cameron. So that sort of leads me to my next question. Can you give us a hint of any updates or new features that are coming out soon you guys plan on implementing?
Yeah, we can go. There's so many different features we have coming out. I mean, we've been working on this for 2 years, and I've been making ideas. I've been bouncing ideas off my dad. My brother, he's also been in the industry with us. We've been having him do some work. He's given us some ideas. We've gotten a lot of ideas from the community as to what they'd like to see in the app and what would be beneficial to them. So there's a lot coming down the pipe, but right now what we're working on is one of the bigger features that we have coming out is being able to centralize your invoicing process even further, right? So right now we synchronize to FreshBooks or QuickBooks to actually issue the invoices and collect payment. And the vision that we see for that is being able to issue invoices right within AquaSuite and have AquaSuite empower you to take payment with credit card, because that's usually the trickiest part, because there's some payment gateway stuff that you have to deal with and all that kind of thing. Making it easier for the end user to pay their bill, giving the company owner a customer portal that they can go log into, the customer can log into, see all their bills, see all the repairs that they have going on, see all the service stops that have been done with all the images that you may have taken, and be able to, including in that, take payment on invoices that are pending and that kind of thing with credit card or just anything that may need to be done in that kind of setting. So that's something that we're finishing the touches up on, and we're looking to have that done within the next week and a half or so that we can make it even easier. Most of 80% of the reason that you're going to be using QuickBooks Online is to issue invoices and collect payment. Well, if that's something that AquaSuite can do, why not have it be done in-house, right? So that's why we're looking to optimize that even further and potentially have you not have to pay for QuickBooks at all and just convert over to using AquaSuite entirely for your billing. That's a huge one that we got going on. We have other stuff. We're doing some stuff with chemical tracking right now, so being able to track the chemicals that you put in for customers over the last however amount of time that you want to track it by, so you can have an estimation of how much of one particular chemical or all your chemicals that you're using. We're implementing some cool features with that. Text message capabilities right within AquaSuite. So something that's super nice that I find myself doing all the time is if I get the list from AquaSuite saying, hey, these 3 customers are past due, I'll usually pull out my cell phone, send them a text message with a link to their bill in it. Hey, Bridget, can you go ahead and pay your bill? Here's a link to it. Some of my customers say that they don't get my emails. I'm sure that we've all run into that. Mm-hmm. Text messaging is a really convenient way to get that out to them. If you don't have a cell phone with text messaging on it, I haven't met you yet, because in this day and age, everybody does. So we're implementing the ability to send a batch reminder to all of your past due customers via text message as well as email, so that we can make sure that we get that bill in front of them and they can pay it through whatever means that they want to. We have some bigger stuff coming down the line in the next couple of months, some stuff with project management for the remodelers, the builders that have different projects going on simultaneously with different phases of each project going on. Being able to track that. We have a very robust inventory system that we've been working on for the past 6 months, and being able to track all your inventory. There's just a whole slew of stuff. Basically anything that's included in running an entire business, from getting a customer to onboarding leads and that kind of thing. We're going to be implementing some stuff like that. Beefing up the features that we already have on there. Point of sale services for stuff like retail stores and that kind of thing. Tying that into the rest of your app that you use for the rest of your company. We have so many huge things on the horizon that we're going to be implementing, and we're just so excited about. Like I said, that we're very, very driven on introducing the most value into this app that we can.
Now that sounds great. Now, listeners, that's one thing he hinted on, was being a one-stop shop, from everything from billing and just a seamless implementation, because I personally, at one point, had 3 or 4 different bills for, billing, tracking, all that stuff, whereas if you just have one bill AquaSuite, you have everything taken care of there. That's a huge step, and you don't have to worry about any integrations failing or anything like that.
Absolutely, and if you keep it centralized, there's QuickBooks doesn't need their cut anymore. We're going to save you some money there. If you have other services that you use to try to tie your whole operation together, we can bring that under one house and make it cheaper for you to run it. And we try to make it as economical as we can as it is. And for people that understand the value of what we're already doing, it's a no-brainer to them. When I'm at the trade shows or when I'm doing demos to people, they'll see it and see, it's only X amount per month or whatever it is for my company. Well, why don't I just, that's a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to pay for it. And we just want to, multiply that times 100 if we can, so that it's just a no-brainer. So it's one of those things where it's like, there's no other way to do it. That's what we want it to be.
Yeah, of course. So talking about economics and the price of things, what does it cost to utilize your software?
Yeah, so the price can range. We try to tier it based off of how big the company is. So prices start at $20 a month, and that's for people like just getting started out, people that have up to 10 customers, and then we kind of go from there. And that, if you're in the upper echelon, 120. We offer bulk pricing. We usually do a custom quote for the customers that are that big, so that we can, there's usually some onboarding that we have to do with getting their accounts imported, which we all help with and that kind of thing. So the prices can vary, but it starts at about $20 a month, and then it goes up from there. And like I said, we make it, it's a no-brainer. For the larger companies, it's like one of their accounts worth of billing each month, and it saves them 20 hours every month. Plus, it strengthens their relationship with their customers and gets them more repairs and that kind of thing. So, if price is a concern, It really should be. If we're in business, we're going to have to pay for the right tools to do what we need to, and AquaSuite fits right in line with that.
Sure, as I say, time is money,
100%, man. And in our industry, time is one of the biggest factors to how profitable or how not profitable we are. So it's huge.
Well, Cameron, I really appreciate it. That's all the question I have for you today. But before we sign off, why don't you tell the listeners where they can find you, and more importantly, how they can sign up for AquaSuite?
Absolutely. So our website is useAquaSuite.com, and I always spell it just because it's kind of funny. It's USEAQUASUITE.com. You can go there. We have a little video showcasing some of the core features of our app so you can get a closer feel of what it does. And we also offer a free sign-up. You can go in, put in your company information and your sign-in details, and it'll bring you to an account where we've loaded up some sample customer data for you, so you can start to feel like what it would be like for your customers and get an even closer feel to it. And Eric has been nice enough to partner with AquaSuite and offer the listeners a exclusive discount to the Chlorine King podcast, where if you go to AquaSuite and sign up and end up wanting to use it for your company, you can use promo code CLKING, one word, and it'll give you 20% off of your AquaSuite subscription for the first 3 months. And we're very appreciative for Eric for having us on and for partnering with us and offering that to his listeners.
Now, listeners, what are you waiting for? Go to his site and check it out and sign up now.
The king said it. I'm not going to argue with the king, so I would take his word on that.
Well, that's funny, Cameron. Well, thank you so much again. I really appreciate and enjoyed having you on the show, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Eric, you've had so much great content out there, and you have such a great online presence. I think the listeners can really take away a lot of value from your podcast, and I hope in some small way I was able to contribute to that.
You certainly did. I appreciate the kind words, Cameron.
Awesome, man. Take care, buddy.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That really sounds like a great program, doesn't it? Cameron's really thought of everything on both the service side and the accounting side of the business. There's very few programs that have half of the features that AquaSuite does. I really like how you can add things to the bill throughout the month, so you don't have to hope that you keep track of everything and not allow anything to slip through the cracks, because there's nothing worse than that, because then you're losing money. AquaSuite really sounds like the solution. Cameron also mentioned on the service side of the business how you're able to attach photos and give the customers their readings. That's a valuable service to provide our customers. If you haven't gathered from my show already, I'm all about adding value to my customers. So this is one great way to do it. My customers love the pictures and the readings each week because that way they're kept up to date with their pool. Also, the ability to call on past service visits trumps the door tag in its tracks. Don't forget to head on over to AquaSuite and use the discount code CLKING, all one word, to receive 20% off your first 3 months of service. Remember, swim safe and enjoy your pool.
That's all for tonight, and thanks for tuning in. Please send any comments or ideas, how-to and guest appearance requests, and product review suggestions to Eric at chlorinekingpools.com. Remember, if life piddles in your pool of dreams, just add some chlorine and keep swimming. See you next time.